Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We are going to be doing a reading vlog. Now, I have not done one of these before on my channel and I have been in a big book slump for the past 6 or so months, but I'm really getting back into my reading again, enjoying creating my content on Booktok and also watching other creators' videos in regards to reading and stuff like that. If you watched my last video, you would know that I'm currently rereading the ACOWAR series, so I'm on A Court of Wings and Ruin. Now, A Court of Mist and Fury is my all-time favourite book, not even just talking about this series in general, but I thought we could spend the week just seeing me get through this. I absolutely flew through A Court of Mist and Fury. I think I read it in 2 or 3 days. I started reading this last night and I read a couple of pages on my dinner. Obviously, this book is a little bit bigger than A Court of Mist and Fury, but I remember the first time that I read it, I went into a little bit of a book slump with it. And obviously I don't want to give any spoilers if you haven't watched this series, but if you've read A Court of Mist and Fury and all the angst and the slow burn and all that jazz is what I loved. Obviously I loved the story, I love the characters, but I think that's why I enjoyed that book more than this one. Whereas in this one, it's not really slow burn, it's more of the plot. And as a romantic girl, I obviously, you know, enjoy the plot, but I very much enjoy some slow burn and, you know, this and that. So yeah, I don't know whether I'm gonna read Silver Flames after this, because as we all know, well, if you don't know, that is a ginormous book. Like, I remember that took me, I say ages, it probably took me a week to read, which for me that used to be a long time. These days books take me fucking forever to read. So yeah, I thought we could just spend, the week reading together, because I felt like in my other videos it was kind of getting a bit repetitive, because obviously I was showing you my life, whereas I think with this we can just stick to reading. And the good thing about me getting back into reading again with ACOWAR is that I'm seeing like new book releases and I'm getting excited for them. And yeah, I may end up like at some point starting another book. I still not finished Wildcard by Elsie Silver actually, so I could probably do with finishing that. I'm really loving having like a physical book in my hand though, which is not usually like me. I am very much a Kindle girly. But yeah, at the moment I'm just absolutely loving a physical book. So let's see how many pages of this we can get through tonight. I'm currently on chapter 12, page 108. So I've actually already read 50 pages of this book today. So yeah, I will, like I said, I'm rereading, so obviously I know how it all ends, but there are parts of it that I've kind of forgot about. Like, it's been 2 years since I read this book. So yeah, I'm not saying it's like reading it all over again. It's more just like recapping my memory of kind of how the plot actually went, the like subplots and all that type of jazz. So yeah, if you want to see how I get on with my reading this week, then make sure to keep watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you later this evening when I've done a bit more reading. I am just about to go to bed. I am currently on page 173, chapter 17, and obviously, again, if you've read the book, you'll understand why I'm enjoying it a little bit more now. I don't want to say too much, but again, if you've read it, you can probably imagine why. So I haven't read that much tonight. I spent some time with Ethan and stuff like that and doing a little bit of work and stuff, so hopefully I'll be able to read a little bit more tomorrow. I've read about 120 pages, so to be fair, that's actually pretty good, but considering I had like all the night. So yeah, it's really nice, as I said before, to be back in that world, but also, as I've said, I know how it ends, but I think for me there's probably like little parts of it that I've forgot, and like the conversations between all the characters and stuff like that, and the banter side. It's just really nice to kind of read it again and just, yeah, be back in that world. So I know some people are really against rereading books, but I would honestly highly recommend it, especially if you are going through a bit of a slump and not really enjoying reading as much, because this has genuinely just got me out of it so much. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow when I read a little bit more of it. Now the next day, and I'm currently just having, sorry that my arm's moving, a little bit of a read on my dinner. I think so far I've read about 20 pages. Then I was just eating my dinner, watching a bit of YouTube. But I'm gonna read, probably got another 25 minutes before I'll start back doing work. So another 25 minutes of reading. As I said yesterday, I'm enjoying this so much more now. Like, even the plot as well is just so much better, and yeah, it's getting good. Now Sunday, I think the last time I saw you was Thursday. I've not read on Friday or Saturday, hence why I didn't pick up the vlog. I've got an M&S cookie, the gingerbread and white chocolate, and we're just gonna sit and we're gonna chill, we're gonna read. I think I read about 100 pages on Thursday. If you've read any Sarah J Maas book, you will know that the last 100 pages is where all the action happens, and all this is like story building, but in a good way. Like, it's not like you're waiting for something to happen. Like, it's nice reading the sort of like build up and like all the little bits that they do. And I think I said it in my last video, just like the banter between the characters and things like that. So yeah, let's get reading, and I'll catch up with you probably a little bit later on to see how I'm getting on with it. I'm currently 314 pages in, so let's see how long I can read, how many pages I can read. Later, I haven't been reading for the whole of that time, but I'm now on page 361, so not too bad. I think I said I started on 314. I realised that I never actually said what this book was about, and I think the reason why that was is because I obviously don't want to give spoilers to anyone that's not read the series. So in terms of the actual series, it is obviously a fantasy book. You have Pharaoh, which is the main character for the first 3 books, and it basically starts off how her family is basically living in poverty. She is taking it upon herself to provide for the family and make sure that her sisters and her dad are fed. And one day she goes into the woods to do this, and she comes across a high fae, which everybody knows they exist. There is a border that is splitting the high fae, or the fae should I say, because there are less fae, to the human world, and she basically ends up killing a wolf that is high fae. And because of this, I can't fully remember the first book and I've not reread it, but it basically ends up being that she has to go over the border. And I don't want to give too much away because there's a lot of things like that. What I've just said is what you basically find out in the first couple of chapters of the first book, which is The Court of Thorns and Roses. And then there's a lot of twists behind like why that happened and things like that, which I don't necessarily want to ruin for you. All I will say is that with the first book, it's not the best in the series. It is a lot of world building, getting to know people, getting to know how that world works. And to be honest, I would probably say that you'll get to the mid of that book and you'll be like, why am I doing this to myself? But honestly, as I said before, in true Sarah J Maas fashion, the last 100, if not 150 pages of that book is where everything happens. And you just need to read it, because in order to get to the second book, which is my favourite book in the whole series, you obviously need to read the first one. So if you have attempted reading it, or you're thinking of reading it but you've heard a bit of mixed reviews, I've never heard anyone say the first book was the favourite. I've never heard it, so you've just kind of got to get through that. It's not as big as the other ones. I think it's like 300 to 400 pages, and then obviously you can get on to the second and third, which are genuinely so good. At the moment, as I said before, the plot is thickening. I've obviously read it before, so I know kind of what happens and things like that. But yeah, nothing too instrumental yet. It'll be all in the last 100 pages. So I'm going to read some more tonight. I don't know whether I'll kind of run you through what I do end up reading. And then hopefully at some point this week we can actually start a new book, or at least finish Wildcard, and then we can chat a little bit more about that and what that's about, and Elsie Silver's world. I literally feel like the whole of this vlog has been on my couch. However, I've just finished work. It's my birthday in 2 days, so I've shaved my legs. We're going on like a spa day. I know this is a reading vlog, but I just wanted to tell you what I've done. So I've just had an everything shower and put some tinted moisturiser on. I did actually fake tan on Friday, so it's now Monday, and my tan's actually lasted really well. I just wanted to kind of top it up a little bit, especially because I've shaved as well. Yesterday I got to page 360. I don't think I read any more after I finished speaking to you. I think I just chilled, but my goal is to make sure I read, even if it's literally just 10 pages a day, because I find that if I don't read for a day, it takes me a while to get back into it, and I think that's why I end up getting into a book slump, because I'm like, oh well, I've not been reading, and then I like build it up to be this big thing of getting back into it when it's clearly not. It's like, girl, just fucking pick up the book and start reading. But yeah, I just end up building it up to be something that it's just not, and yeah, it's not that deep. So my goal, as I said, is to be reading at least 10 pages a day. So that means either in the morning, before I go to bed, if I've had a really busy day, just to kind of, you know, take some time for myself in the morning, or wind down after bed. Or obviously, like, I've just finished work and Ethan won't be home for like an hour or two, so I'm just going to get cracking reading it. I'm about halfway through actually. I think I might have said this in the last clip. This is the thing about like filming, but it not. Normally I'm so used to filming like back to back to back that I kind of know what I've said. Whereas like this was 24 hours ago when I last spoke to you, and I'm like, did I say that? So the power of editing will be used in this vlog. But yeah, we're just going to get cracking on. We're just going to read. We've got Diet Pepsi. If you know me, you know that I'm a Pepsi Max gal, but they didn't have any in Lidl this week. So we've gone for a Diet Pepsi, which, to be honest, I prefer over Coke Zero anyway. However, I will have it. Pink headband, pink book, pink phone, and then I've got some like Love Heart silk. Sorry, was not trying to flash anyone then. Like pajamas on with me, just putting some like moisturizer and stuff on. I thought silk would be the best choice. So yeah, I'll just keep you updated with how I get on, how much I actually end up reading today. Once this book is read, we can actually sort out my, I was gonna say autumn TBR, rest of October TBR, because I've definitely got a few things that I'm like kind of itching to read now. I'm still gonna definitely reread this and finish it, but yeah, there's just a few things that I keep seeing on like TikTok and stuff, and it's just got me really excited for picking my next read with you. It's now a few hours later. I've obviously had my tea and all that jazz, and I'm currently on page 486, so I've read just over 100 pages. I'm really hoping, and not in like a rushy way, but like I think I'm probably going to end up finishing this by the end of tomorrow, which links in quite nicely, as this was a read with me for the week vlog, and I started it last Wednesday. Tomorrow we can pick a new book to read. I know I've said that already in the last clip, but yeah, hopefully we can do that tomorrow. If not, I might do a separate video on it, but I was thinking what I could do is run you through what is actually on my TBR for the sort of rest of October. Not that you're going to be able to, well, you actually might be able to help me pick it, but then I think this vlog's only going out towards the end of October. So the first sort of one that I think I'll be itching to read after this is Phantasma, because I've heard so many good things, especially in terms of it being a really good read around the sort of like spooky season and stuff like that. And with me really enjoying my fantasy, I do want to get into it more towards the end of this year. I think the only thing that puts me off it is the whole world building aspect of it. But then once I am in a fantasy world, I love it. It's just the anxiety of getting into it, and I don't know why, because there's generally nothing to be anxious about. I just think it's because it's one of those sort of genres where you can't just be like, not that I'm never not fully present, but like sometimes a lot of fantasies you've really got to concentrate, and that's why I've not read Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. I've read Throne of Glass, I've read obviously ACOWAR, and I'm really not going to Crescent City yet, because of a lot of people have said how, like, not hard the world building is, but like it is a lot of world building at the start. So if you've read Crescent City, let me know what you thought about it. I'm not going to be reaching for it anytime soon, as I do have quite a bit of fantasy to do. So Phantasma's one. Obviously, if I like that, then I'll probably read the second book in the series. And then I also really want to read Book of Azrael, because I've heard that that is a really good book. I did try to read, I'm pretty sure I tried to read that, but I remember at the time I was just in a bit of a shit place with reading, so I thought I'd rather save it until it gets good. I still haven't read Quicksilver. I really don't know why. Again, I think that was another thing I started to read and then wasn't in the best place with it, so I thought actually I'm just going to leave it. But I want to get back onto the fantasy hype. I just think there is nothing like a fantasy book, in my opinion. So there are a few things that I have. I do have some others downloaded on my Kindle. I have the new Lila Sage book, Soul Searching, which I've heard is, what is the word? What is the term? I'm trying to think what it's called. Magical realism? Something like that. So I've got that, and I do love Lila Sage. I absolutely adore her cowboy romance series. Every book in that series was genuinely chef's kiss. So I'm really excited to read that. I love how I'm like throwing all these like books at you that are all like, you know, spooky season centered, and I can't even finish one book in a week. So the chances of me getting through all of these in the time that I think I'm going to get through them is probably very slim. However, I'm putting them out there because these are things I want to read, and if you can keep me accountable for reading them, that would be absolutely fantastic. But for now, I am going to continue reading with this. I would like to get to 500 pages by the end of today, and then, as I said, tomorrow I'll have 200 pages left, which is quite a lot of asking. Like, I'm asking a lot for myself to have finished this by the end of tomorrow. So yeah, we'll just see. But this vlog will basically end when I actually finish this book. So let's get into reading it. Good morning everyone, it is now the next day and I've just got back from the gym, but while I was in the gym I started reading Wildcard. So I obviously already started reading it. I think I was about 30% of the way through. So I started reading it while I was doing some steps, and then I went on Spotify and the audiobook was on there, and I was like, this is fantastic, because obviously I could listen to the audiobook of A Court of War and Ruin, but I thought I also kind of want to finish this book as well, and then like I can start a fresh book, and it's not necessarily me finishing it off. So anyway, I was listening to that. I loved it. Like, I don't know if it's just like, I don't know why I stopped reading it is basically what I'm trying to say, because I really enjoyed it. And like, I was driving home, and then Clyde, if you've not read the book, and I will go into like what the book's about in a minute, but Clyde in the book, he's like they're looking after him. He's like a bit older, and they're like looking after him, but he's so funny. So I'm just driving, I'm like, all this angst, all this slow burn, it's getting really into it, and then Clyde just steps in, and honestly I burst out laughing. Luckily I was in the car at this point and driving home, so you know I didn't look like an absolute weirdo in the gym. But yeah, I really love it. But the angst is angsting, the slow burn is slow burning, and yeah, just absolute chef's kiss. Obviously, if you haven't read the series, it's Wildcard by Elsie Silver. The whole series is single dads, which, I'm not gonna lie, for me is not my favourite trope. However, the first book I didn't really love that much. It's obviously like kind of linked to the Chestnut Spring series. Obviously that series is more like cowboy romance in a way, whereas this one is like they live like in a town near it. Like it's a very small town, and obviously yeah, each book is about a single dad. That those single dads are on a bowling team together, and then obviously they are subsequently with the girl group in the series as well, which works out quite nice. So yeah, the first book I didn't really love that much. The second book, oh my god, that was so good. That was Single Dad, and that was like a pop star that had come into the small town. The third book again wasn't really my favourite. I liked it better than the first, but this was a book I'd never actually read before. He was a wrestler, and it was actually her, so she was having to look after her sister's daughter, and he'd got custody of her as well. So like they were trying to make it work on that point. But yeah, that I actually have to admit that storyline of him being a wrestler was actually quite interesting. And then yeah, this one is Ex-Boyfriend's Dad, which I have read before. My god, can Elsie Silver write books? Can she? If you've not read an Elsie Silver book yet, I love all of them. Like all of her I've read, this is her third series. I've read every book that she has given into this world. So yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. So I'm gonna get ready for the day, make my morning coffee, and I'm actually gonna continue listening to the audiobook. I'm still obviously going to read ACOWAR, well, A Court of Wings and Ruin today. One thing I was actually thinking last night was, I know I said that the reason why I love A Court of Mist and Fury is the angst and the slow burn, and that still is my favourite book. However, it's actually really nice in A Court of Wings and Ruin for the relationship to be where it is and to actually enjoy it, because I feel like with a lot of books it can be a lot of slow burn, and then the actual time that the two main characters spend together you don't actually get a lot of. It's often like one chapter and then the epilogue, and then it's like, oh right, okay, whereas it's actually really nice to see them together. Really enjoying it more the second time around than I did the first time. Continue listening to the audiobook while I get ready for the day, and yeah, I may end up doing a bit of reading, but basically on the cards today is I've got some work to do this morning. Then I know this is a predominantly reading vlog, but in terms of how much reading I'm going to get done today, then I'm getting my nails done for my birthday, and then I have maybe a little bit more work to do. My mum and Nan are coming up, and then I can literally read all evening. Ethan's not going to get back till late tonight because he's training with his dad. So yeah, we've got a lot of reading to be doing, a reading time should I say. But tomorrow is my actual birthday, and I am going to a spa day, I think I said yesterday. So I'll probably take my Kindle to the spa day over like my physical. So I'm obviously going to be reading Wildcard while I'm there, but I will be playing the audiobook today while I'm like pottering about when I drive to my nail appointment and things like that. So yeah, I'm excited. It feels so nice to be excited about reading again, and just like the joy that reading can bring. So yeah, it feels good. I'm gonna get on with my day, and I'll update you when I next have an update or I'm next reading. Hello everyone, hope you're all okay. I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update because I have been to get my nails done. So these, sorry that was very close, these are my birthday nails, a bit of tortoiseshell, and then I continued with the cinnamon spice colour because I am obsessed. And I am never usually a full block girly, but I'm absolutely loving it, so I thought let's repeat but add a bit of spice to it with it being my birthday. I have been listening to the Wild Side audiobook this morning, and I'm not gonna lie, there was a small part of me that was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna read it on my Kindle. But as I said before, I do want to take my Kindle tomorrow, and I just think it would, yeah, it just makes more sense to continue with A Court of Wings and Ruin. And take my Kindle with me to read when I'm at the spa day. I have just been like doing a few odd bits in terms of like having a shower, washing my hair, like sorting a few bits out. So I did actually play the graphic audio of A Court of Wings and Ruin. Just wait for that loud car to go past. If you have not listened to the graphic audio, even if you've read ACOWAR before, it is so good. I was explaining this to my nail tech today, like with a graphic audio, if say they were like walking down the street and it described that the people were chattering, it would have people chattering in the background. So it's like you are fully immersed. It's not somebody just reading and narrating a book. Like you get this whole experience with it. So I would highly recommend. I had listened to the A Court of Mist and Fury graphic audio and it was so good. So I thought, yeah, while I'm pottering about and I've got some jobs to do, I'm actually going to listen to that because yeah, I really enjoyed it. So now that I have done all that, I have washed my hair and I'm kind of like chilling for the night. I'm just going to get cracking with reading it because I'm loving it. Like, again, I can't explain how it feels to be back into reading and actually enjoying what I'm reading as well, because normally I'll like get back into it and then I'll go into a slump and then I'll get back into it and then I'll go into a slump. And I think sometimes switching between graphic audio and the book does really help. And I don't have Audible. I literally have Spotify Premium, and then I think you get 16 hours worth of listening time. So obviously annoying when you use up that listening time, but I don't know if you can like buy more hours or whatever, but majority of audiobooks are included within that. So there are some times obviously where I end up listening to the 16 hours, especially with the graphic audios, because like for A Court of Wings and Ruin there's 3 parts and 6 chapters, so that's 6, 12, 18 hours worth of audio. So obviously you're not going to finish all that if you wanted to within a month. So definitely time it where it's coming to the end of your monthly membership and going into the next month, because it's so annoying when that happens. But yeah, I'm currently on, let's have a quick look at what page and chapter. Page 554, so I've got about 150 pages left. I'm not sure what chapter. It's 61. So I'm flying through it. I definitely should get this finished tonight, and then I can read and finish Wildside tomorrow at the spa day, because obviously if you've never been to Ruby Hall, like it's really nice. They've got the saunas, the steam rooms, there's like a pool, a jacuzzi, but they also just have areas where you can sit. They've got like a bar outside as well where you could get like a coffee or something. So yeah, I just think it's going to be immaculate vibes. And when I actually said to Ethan a couple of months ago that I wanted a spa day, it was in mind of being able to do that. Like I went a couple of years ago for my mum's birthday, like I got it for my mum and my nan for my mum's 60th, and also like coincided with Mother's Day. And I remember seeing the like lounges and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'd love to come here and like, you know, chill, and it'd be like really relaxing, and then also be able to like read my book as well. So yeah, I'm very excited to do that tomorrow, and also kind of excited to just take you with us there. I guess I may vlog while I'm there if that's what I end up reading, and then I probably will end the vlog tomorrow, or I know I said yesterday I was going to end it when I finished A Court of Wings and Ruin, but I think I might potentially wait to show you what I actually do end up deciding reading after Wildside. I think it will be Phantasma, but we'll see how I'm feeling after Wildside, whether I'm going more for romance or fantasy. I know this vlog has been a lot of yapping, but I've tried to keep it just book related. But yeah, if you're enjoying it, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will chat to you when I potentially have finished this book. Hello everyone, hope you're all okay. It is actually my birthday. We've just been to the spa, which I told you about, and I said to Ethan, oh, I wonder what time the works closes, because Ali Hazelwood's new book Mate has just come out and I absolutely loved Bride. So yeah, we are here an hour before closing, to be fair, but we've come straight here from the spa. The spa was so good, and we also had afternoon tea. In terms of reading yesterday, I have about 80 pages left, maybe even less than A Court of War and Ruin, and I actually haven't read anything today. I know I said, oh, I'm going to take my Kindle and I'm going to read Wildcard, but to be honest, it went so quick I didn't even have a chance to read anything. So yeah, so far I haven't read anything today, not sure I will, but I'll show you what we get up to in the works, and then I will probably end the vlog here today. So our local works is actually in a garden centre, so yeah, we'll see if there's anything in there as well. Just found out the works is cash only and I don't have any cash. I think I might cry. This was what I wanted. So unfortunately couldn't buy anything from the works because it was cash only, and obviously don't really carry cash. Although they did have the purple version of Mate, which I know it's green everywhere else, and they also had the My Fault series in the box set, which I wanted, so yeah, it is what it is. But thank you so much for spending the week with me and getting back into reading again. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.